ladies and gentlemen, and as we say each and every Sunday, well, we don't say it because this is the first time I'm going to say it. Let's rise. It's the Sunday rise. It's the Midnight Rider. It's the Gentleman Jack Carr. It's the big guy KG. We got a nice show set up for you today. We got a little college football roundup. We get to talk about planting the flag in the middle of fields. We're going to talk about a rest in peace to a Big East legend. We give you the nickel. All that on today's Sunday Rise with these three guys. KG, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. First and foremost, Gentleman Jack on vacation, on special assignment. How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. Busy weekend.
Midnight Rider, how you feeling? At home, relaxing?
I'm good, man. I got tired of seeing Jack's face all weekend on his little pop-ups, but I'm glad he was doing them.
Yeah, if you haven't checked that out yet, go over to In the Passenger Seat and check out Jack all up and down, all on Clemson camps for basketball and football in Death Valley. So go check that out. I hope everybody's holiday was great. I'll say that. Hope everybody got some rest because it's back to the grind tomorrow. So let's start this off. I hate doing it, but I got to start it off on a sad note. Big East tight Lou Conn II has passed away at the age of 99. He would have turned 100 on January 5th. He passed away last night. Coach of St. John's. He coached the likes of Mark Jackson, Chris Mullin. You know, he coached all the way up until 93 at St. John's. And he was one of the instrumental parts of the Big East being formed, him along with Boeheim at Syracuse, John Thompson down at Georgetown. He was the catalyst in them getting the Big East and the Big East being what it is. I'm going to turn it over to the Gentleman Jack and then the Midnight Rider, and, you know, just a couple of thoughts on Lou Conn II.
Well, we were just talking about the old school coaches of the Big East, and you can't mention the old school coaches without mentioning the great Lou Conn II. He coached one of my, I don't want to say one of my favorites, but this might be one of my favorite busts, Felipe Lopez over there at St. John's too, I believe. 99 years on this earth, that's a blessing. So may God bless Lou Conn II and his family.
I mean, it's one of the biggest memories of Big East basketball. It's the sweater game. KG, I think the other studio is open or something. The biggest memory is the sweater game with Big John comes out, hugs Lou with the sweater on because Lou was known for his sweaters. Like Jack said, 99 years on this earth. That's a mighty long time. Actually, I thought he had passed before, so it kind of shook me that he just passed away. So good for him, 99 years, man. Amazing time.
It's most definitely. I do apologize for the noise in the background. 99 years, you know, and we had this discussion about a week and a half ago about people retiring and enjoying their retirement when we were talking about QB Brown. And I've had this discussion offline with the boss BJ talking about Dick Vitale, stuff like that. So 99 years, man. It's a long time. It's almost a century on the earth. Imagine what was seen with those eyes. So rest in peace to the great Lou Conn II. College football, fellas, was a wild one yesterday. A wild one. Let's get to the scores first, and then we'll talk about flag plant incidents. First up, number 17, Tulane goes down to unranked Memphis, 34-24. Number 11, Boise State, 34. Oregon State, 18. guy, Justin Genty, 37 carries, 226 yards, and a touchdown. He is solidifying that Heisman race case pretty big. Number 25, Colorado, 52, Oklahoma State, 0. Earlier in the week, Coach Prime had something to say about Travis Hunter not being a finalist for the Thorpe Award. And I think he had a valid argument, because this kid should be finalist for a lot of awards: Maxwell, Heisman, Thorpe. What am I missing? I think I'm missing 1 or 2 awards, but him not being a finalist, I think that's a slap in the face. What do you gentlemen think?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, you've got him up for like 4 different awards. You might as well make it 5. I mean, he's a dynamic corner. He's got like 4 or 5 ball games where he's got a touchdown and an interception. He had 3 touchdowns and an interception in this ball game with 10 receptions. So, I mean, the sad thing is somebody has to finish in second place between him and Genty. That's going to be the bigger thing.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen a defensive ball player, or should I say offensive and defensive ball player like this. I wouldn't even say Rod Woodson is, because he was part-time offense. This boy plays full-time defense, full-time offense. I don't know how he's not up there. And like you say, to decide between the 2 guys, because right now I think it's a 2-man race. I don't see a quarterback in the race. It's between Mr. Horn and Mr. Gentry, in my opinion here. So, and we said something about with 2 games left, Gentry needed like 600 yards. Well, damn, he's almost halfway there in the last 2 games to break the single season rushing record. But I think he's a good long ways away, probably more closer to 400 right now. I don't see a quarterback in this race, so it's either going to be Horn or Gentry.
Right, and with that press conference, Deion Sanders said y'all can take back his. You can take back his Thorpe Award. He don't want it, and I thought that was classy of him to give back on an award, because they're not being fair. I thought that was classy. Next up, number 14, Ole Miss beats Mississippi State 26-14. A game for the ages. Number 7, Georgia, in between the hedges, beats Georgia Tech 44-42 in 8 overtimes. Georgia Tech had this game locked up. They had this game locked up. I can't even see. It was 8 overtimes. They only had the rest of the box score for the first 4 quarters. Good grief. I had Georgia Tech up 17. I think they were up 20-0. And then they were up with 3-4 minutes left in the 4th. And then it got out of hand like this, where Georgia comes out unscathed. I think this was the game of the day. This is one of the games of the day. But hell, that was a classic. Number 8, Tennessee beats Vanderbilt 36-23. The other game of the day, unranked Michigan takes down number 2 Ohio State 13-10. I don't even know if anybody had that on their bingo card. Number 15, South Carolina beats number 12 Clemson 17-14. Number 23, Illinois beats Northwestern 38-28. Number 16, Arizona State 49, Arizona 7. Number 21, Missouri 28, Arkansas 21. And this one right here, which puts them in the ACC championship game. Syracuse 42, number 6 Miami 38. And this is the first ever ACC championship game, correct?
Who's?
This is the first ever. They don't normally play an ACC championship game, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, but who are you saying made it to the championship game? I mean, I think it's Syracuse.
Yeah. Syracuse in the ACC championship.
My impression is Clemson and SMU.
Yeah,
Clemson
that's what it is.
Clemson slid in the back door.
Oh.
Yeah, yesterday, the way the schedule played out, two people should be very happy. Alabama should be very happy because they might be able to sneak in into the bracket now because of all the carnage in front of them. You know, the teams that don't have the same strength of schedule are going to be close to Alabama or either fall behind Alabama when we had this new poll with the 3 upsets yesterday. I think Ohio State escapes unscathed, but they'll drop down some, and it's just going to be interesting. Like I said, it's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to see what Matt just brought up. See Ryan Day. I think from what I've heard all day or all year, this was the only thing that Ohio State fans were worried about. Plus, because they made that investment this year in trying to spend a whole bunch of money to bring guys in or guys staying for money, and for them to lose 13-10 was a big disappointment.
You guys are right. I had that wrong. It's Clemson and the SMU in the ACC championship game. I am wrong.
Yeah, I'm down here in Clemson country, boy. It got crazy about 6 o'clock when they realized, because after the loss yesterday, it looked like Clemson was going to be looking from the outside in. But Miami had what we've been saying for the past 4 weeks, that defense is their Achilles heel. You can't, you score 30-some points, you're supposed to win the ball game. Miami's defense has been a problem all year. It's just this game, their offense couldn't score enough to beat them. So that was something. And then, like I said, in Clemson, they was all bummed out, thought it was a championship game. Bye-bye. That game was an awesome game, regardless of the records. Clemson, South Carolina, that's always going to be a good game. And I didn't really see still the interception that ended the game. They did not do replay. They didn't show replay in the stadium. And I got home too tired to even mess with looking for it. But bad thing ended up turning into a good thing for the Tigers. So go Tigers.
Matty Ice said a lot of great rivalry games ended with stupidity after the game. NCAA needs to do something about the flag planting garbage. Someone said Shixie gets hurt. We get ready to get to that, Matty. We getting ready to get to that because I got a lot to say on that. So we'll pin that comment. We'll bring it back. SMU 38, California 6, number 13 Alabama 28. This is the Iron Bowl, matter of fact, 28-14 over Auburn. We had a lot of rivalry games today. Penn State 44, Maryland 7. Jack's favorite matchup for the Jules Shillelagh. Notre Dame beats USC 49-35 to win the Jules Shillelagh.
Give me a minute. I want to skip back over the Shillelagh, in which I know what it is now. It's not a Shillelagh, it's a Shillelagh. Maryland Penn State game. What's up? What's Loxley mad about, fellas? Something about Franklin?
Penn State scored a late touchdown in the closing seconds of the game. Basically, Franklin was like, look, I got my third and fourth string in against your ones, and you can't stop us. That's a you issue, not a me issue.
Somebody said that when they showed the replay of, somebody said Mike Loxley grabbed him and said, look here, I'm from Southeast. Don't ever play with me like that again. Don't ever disrespect me, dog.
Wouldn't surprise me, but hey, this is the way they do it in college football, man. They trying to get them rankings, and them rankings a lot of times by points scored. So
exactly,
I agree with Midnight Rider. If you want to do something about it, score with me then.
You actually just said exactly what Franklin said in his post game presser. He said, with the way the new setup is, you have to win impressively. So we weren't trying to score, but my guys practice all year long, so they get a chance to score and they take it. It's on you.
Okay, I just heard there was getting a bunch of alerts about how Loxley was pissed off.
Oh yeah, he was really pissed off. But I mean, think about this. How would you feel if you were on the end of the worst college football loss of all time? 222-0. How would you feel about that? If you can't score, you don't need to be on the field. But I digress. Speaking of scoring, number 10, Indiana, 66, Purdue, 0. The game that I watched last night, and I sat and I watched it. It's crazy because I got a straight shot from the bedroom to the living room. So I'm in the bedroom looking at the Texas, number 3 Texas versus number 20 Texas A&M, which is a rivalry game. Texas 17, Texas A&M 7. Texas A&M had every chance in the world to take this game, and they could not do it. They got down inside the 5, couldn't score. Got down inside the 5 again, couldn't score. They kept stopping Texas and could not put the ball across the goal line, didn't get no field goals, no nothing. I don't know what is going on with the coaching ranks and time management this week, but y'all need to fix that.
Well, this is the first time they played in 10 years or more than that. The last time they played, Justin Tucker kicked the game-winning field goal. That shows you how long it's been since those two teams have played. And those two teams, Texas and Texas A&M, that's what I'm talking about.
We got to give a shout-out to Quintavio Wisner. He had a balling game, 33 carries for 186 yards, 5.6 per carry. Only bad thing, he didn't get in the end zone yesterday. 186 yards, no touchdowns for Wisner.
That's all Texas A&M needed. They needed to get in the end zone. That's all they needed. Those 2 possessions that they left down in the 5, that would have been the difference of the game. If you would have at least got 10 out of it, you could have tied it. And this is in the 3rd quarter. They kept making it frustrating because they kept getting Texas to turn over the ball. Texas A&M just couldn't score. And it frustrates me.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. We didn't need all that noise.
Number 18, Iowa State, 29. Number 21, Kansas State, 21. Number 1, Oregon keeps rolling. 49-21 over Washington. UNLV, number 22, UNLV, 38 over Nevada, 14. And finally, BYU, 30. Houston, 18. Now, to jump back to Matty Ice's comment, in a couple of games yesterday, I think it was about 4 or 5, we had it in the Michigan game, the Florida State game. There's in a couple of games where the road team came in on a rivalry and they went to go plant the flag in the middle, and the home team got mad and wanted to fight, and it started, a breakout. I'm gonna let you gentlemen handle it first. I know Maddie doesn't really like it, and I'll let you gentlemen handle it first. Start with the gentleman Jack, then move to the Midnight Rider, and then I'll take over.
I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I know it's got to do with being cocky and to be showing yourself, but if you win the ball game, you don't need to go planting some flag on the home team's field. You win the ball game, it's on the scoreboard. Why does planting the flag? All that's going to do is cause an ass whooping. I don't like it. I've never been for it. The stomping on the Dallas Star, things from the past. I've never been on it. If you win, you win, man. There's no need in that. I don't agree with it, and I definitely think it needs to be stopped before someone gets seriously hurt. Big brawl, you don't know. It could get uglier and uglier if you keep letting this happen. So I don't like it. What you think, Midnight Rider?
I say if you're going to allow it, if it's going to happen, make it a stipulation. Make it go WWE style, go all in on it, and make the teams before the game announce that the flag will get planted or something like that. But this is annoying and stupid. You got a bunch of kids running the field, and it's just because they saw somebody else do it. Everybody remembers when Baker Mayfield did it. back in the day when he was playing. So now everybody wants to copycat. I mean, I don't know if you're going to stop it, but if you can't stop it, because I don't know how the NCAA can legislate it, because, I mean, since when does the NCAA do anything anyway? They're just there. They're like the Queen of England. You know what I'm saying? They can't declare war. They don't have any power to stop anything. And I think that's the biggest problem with this new world NCAA that we live in, is there's no teeth to anything they say. So it's going to be on the conferences, and they got to make a choice. Either make it a stipulation, that way you can't fight after the game because you already know what's coming. Or you ban it all together and then hit them in the pockets. Fine if it happens.
See, I'm on the fence because this is nothing new. This has been going on for ages. This has been going on for eons. I remember when Florida State beat Florida in the swamp, and they took the Seminole spear and spiked it right through the gator at midfield. Nobody fought. Nobody had a problem with it. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen pregame guys come out and, you got somebody carrying the flag and they wave the flag around in midfield on the road and spike the flag right in midfield into the opposing team logo. And what did they say? All right, if you had that much fire at the end of the game to want to fight somebody because you lost at home, you should have had that type of fire before the clock hit zeros. Now, the whole retaliation, what's going to happen in a rivalry game. You know what's going to happen. And I don't like the softness of it. And it just seemed like these players are being well, you disrespect them. No, they disrespect you when they kicked your ass in your house. They walked in your door, goosed your wife, sat down at your table, ate your food, burped in your face, and then walked out. That was the disrespect, not them planting a flag at midfield. The disrespect happened before the game was over. This is soft, man. But now with this, because of this soft-hearted nature, just outlaw. Just don't even do it anymore. Like, I'm big on tradition. Don't even do it anymore. I've seen it in almost every rivalry, especially down south. And now all of a sudden it's a problem because y'all want to fight? I'm going to tell you something. I said this in my post last night. Notre Dame would never, because we don't do that. We win with class. When we win in our opponent's field, we shake hands and we win with style. Matty Ice said, watch the video of Ohio State, Michigan closely. When the player brings it around the second time, the Ohio State players, the flag gets ripped off. And if not for quick thinking of someone from the Ohio State personnel grabbing it, it was going to be used as a weapon. Someone seriously could have gotten hurt. That is my concern. Yeah, that's a valid concern, man. Because number one, that shouldn't even be. Normally when that happens, especially on the road, the home team's already off the field. They're already gone. They're already in the locker room. This is done. I just say outlaw it.
How? How do you outlaw it?
Hey, we putting it in the bylaws as an amendment. There will be no flag planting. There will be no spiking of the flag. There will be no stomping on logos. No, none of that.
Who's enforcing? A, who's enforcing that? And B, who's bylaws? We're the lawless state of college sports right now.
You have to get agreement you have to do it with the conferences, because NCAA, like you said, ain't gonna do it. So you have to get the conference heads to do it. Hey, we're not going to do this anymore. So your heads of your conference, they have to take care of that. They got to be the ones to restore law and order. This is not the Wild Wild West, but I mean, if you're gonna act like it, then treat it like it. Every town got a sheriff. Every conference got a sheriff.
I think you're actually saying the opposite. I think you're admitting that this is the Wild Wild West. And what stops a kid? So say we find the school. Well, some of these kids are contracted hitmen now because of the NIL. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to transfer from Pitt and go to USC for my senior year and get paid a couple million, or I'm gonna flip my commitment from LSU to Michigan because I got more money. Like this is the most lawless situation I've seen. This is what people were scared of when the NIL was given was allowed. It's because nobody is here to govern it, and by the time we start trying to govern it, it's going to be so far down the line that it's going to be a mess. And it is a mess now. We talked about it with the Hayfield kids.
Yeah, I agree. It's just Matty Ice brought up a good point, and I think this could be one of your things. Do it, forfeit the game. I like it.
We already seen the game. We've already seen the game played. You can't take back. You can't, just because the flag got dropped, I can't unsee you getting your ass kicked.
Well, guess what? Official record is say 2-0. That's official record. I mean, if we being honest,
I think those things are the worst things ever. Like nobody forgot that Bobby Bowden won 320 some odd games, and then they took some games away from him because of an NCAA ruling. Nobody knows about that. Nobody cares about that. All they care about is what's on the field, and what happened on the field happened. I just don't see that as a way to manage the process, because you got people that don't have allegiances to these schools. What's going to stop a kid that already knows he's gone from planting the flag? It just doesn't. I mean, I don't know.
Find out his in
the world than I do.
Find out his NIL deal and find him some money. If he got an NIL deal for $350,000, you find his ass $100,000.
Then that gets into the slippery slope of them being employees. Look, let me put a pin in it because I can argue this for days. I don't want to hog our time on this.
All right. Well, we got to move on anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for The Boss Says.
Hey, good morning to all. This is the Boss B. You see how cold it is outside. You can see my breath. Thank you for joining the Sideline Junkies and the Sunday Rise. Good morning to all the gentlemen, the big guy KG, the Midnight Rider, and the gentleman Jack. I'm going to get into these games real quick. I believe the Commanders are going to bounce back from this 3-game skid and take out the Titans today. I think that offense gets back on track. They cut some dead weight. I know the guys are going to talk about Fords being released, but cut some dead weight. I expect them to move forward. I'm not sure if that means Lattimore is going to play, but we'll see. I'm going to take the Commanders to cover. On to Orchard Park, New York, and Highmark Stadium. The 49ers are coming into town to take on my Buffalo Bills. Snow everywhere. One of them things where the Buffalo Bills call out them volunteers. Come shovel this stuff up. Help us out. We'll give you some tickets. Now, Buffalo's favored by 5.5. I think 49ers are going to cover that. I like how the Bills are built. James Cook, you got Josh Allen, his legs. The other running back name escapes me right now. It's the Cole, so you have to excuse me. And the 49ers got some things, too, they can do on the ground. I expect this to be a close game. I think the Bills take this one 2017, but the 49ers cover that 5.5. Man, last but not least, the Midnight Rider has said this every time. Things have changed. You got to give it time to change. But the Washington Wizards are 0-14. They went 0-14 for the month of November. And it's just like every time you want to get back, not on the bandwagon, but help fix it a little bit and maybe smile a little bit. You can't do that because this team just keeps showing you that they are nowhere near. This is a G League team, and they would probably get destroyed in the G League. But it's concerning to see that they didn't even win a game in November. And I don't know where they go from here. I know a couple people have to leave in order for progress to keep progressing, and I don't know why that hasn't happened. So I'm starting to lose what little bit of faith I start gaining back in the Wizards. Hey, but that's all I got. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hopefully the holiday was great. Thank you for joining us once again. And our schedule for this week, of course, is Tuesday night flight around 7:30 in the passenger seat with Jack Carr, the gentleman Jack Carr, 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And you got a quick Thursday night throwdown right before Thursday night football. And don't forget the greatest fictitious sports show, college football sports show in America, The Gridiron, hosted by the Midnight Rider, Saturday mornings. We'll say noon. And last, but certainly not least, the Saturday night WrestleManiacs. Always raunchy, always on time. So sit back, join us this week, and I appreciate you listening to me. I'm out.
And that was the boss BJ with the boss says. Something he said that he touched on, we can touch on that before we move on to the games. Emmanuel Forbes released. There are no first round picks from the Ron Rivera era left on this team. What do you guys think was the last straw?
I think it was just them having somebody they felt comfortable with moving out of the way. I think there's a game, I can't remember who they were playing. Basically, a run play comes his way. He's in the he's on that side where the running back's running, and he does that. You know when a corner doesn't want to hit somebody and you do that overrun, like you overran the play type of thing, just to get out of the way. He did one of those numbers. And when he did it, I was like, that's it. And then you didn't see him. I don't think we saw him a defensive play after that. Or it was always a pass. It was an obvious pass situation. I think they got tired of him not wanting to be physical and not having a physical bone in his body. You didn't get the return because he's supposed to be a interception king. You didn't get that. So that's just where I see it.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. It was coming sooner or later. What's the name of the boy we picked up? Who was that, from New Orleans?
Lattimore.
Is he in today?
I'm trying to get to my my Facebook group to see if they have that in there.
Yeah, I didn't have a time to check injury reports this morning, but that could be that move made right now because Mr. Lattimore might be playing today. The defensive secondary for Washington has been rough. Besides Mr. His name is Sarah Still.
Yeah, Sam still
Number 0. That's been the only bright spot in Washington's defensive secondary. I don't know. I had a feeling it was coming soon. So, not a surprise to me.
And it's funny you say that, Jack, because I'm looking at something now. You talked about the secondary being, it's been a yeah. And I'm looking at the secondary. I expected more from Percy Butler, Derek Forrest. I don't see Defoe on the field as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're starting Quan Martin over Defoe. St. Juice is just he hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
But Derek Forrest and Percy Butler, I expected way more from. I thought those were going to be our starting safeties. And it does not seem like that. It seems like it's Percy Butler and Jeremy Chin. I don't know what's going on with Derek Forrest because he had such an impact the last 2 years when he's out there. I don't know what's going on. And, you see Jeremy Reeves every once in a while. If you run the 3 safety concept, which I like to call a Cobra. But Jeremy Reeves, even on the special teams, it's like those guys in the secondary ain't doing it. And I don't know what's going on, but the secondary has been our Achilles heel. Front 7 has played great. It's the secondary.
Huh?
You don't believe the front?
We'll get into that later. I'm not doing this right now with you, Ricky Bobby. I'm not. Commanders inactives: Jeff Driscoll, Marshawn Lattimore, Andrew Wiley, Dominique Hampton, Fedarian Mathis. See what else I got. That's all I have for right now on the inactives. I'll try to. It's something else I'm looking for. There's a note about the draft picks because I think it goes beyond the Ron draft picks. I think it goes all the way back to Sweat that the first rounders have been. Yeah, Sweat and Haskins were the last 2 first rounders before. So you don't have the last 6 years of your first round draft picks on your ball club in any shape, form, or fashion. That's terrible.
It's crazy. Crazy. First game up. Falcons versus Chargers. Chargers 1.5 point favorites, over under 47.5. Gentleman Jack, take it away.
Well, there's a team that needs to get right. It's Atlanta. Kirk Cousins needs to get some. You like that out there because they should have won last week and they let it get away. Chargers getting healthy, but I feel the Falcons are going to get into this with the run game and the passing game. Robinson should be able to run well against the Chargers today. 1.5. Let's go Falcons and the over. I wouldn't be surprised to see both teams score plus 25 points. Falcons and the over is what I like. Midnight Rider, what you like?
You know what? I got to see something from my boy, Mr. Robinson. Maybe it's because the windows they play in, they play the same time we play. I don't get to see a lot of them, but I want to see a big day from Bijan Robinson. I know Kirk, I think they're coming off a bye, and Kirk has tried to work on some things to get adjusted and better play from the offense because they aren't as sharp as they're supposed to be. I thought this team would be running away with the South, and they're not. In terms of this ball game, give me, I say all of that, and I think I'm gonna take the Chargers, and I think I'm gonna go with the over.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Matty Ice says Chargers all day, probably under. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say Falcons and the under. We've been talking about rivalry games. This right here goes back to 1970, November 2nd, 1970 to be exact, when the Steelers won 21-10. Steelers versus Bengals. Bengals are 3-point favorites. Over under is 46.5. The last time these two teams met was almost a year ago, December 23rd, 2023. Bengals lose 34-11. And the Steelers lead the all-time series 70-39. Gentleman Jack, what do you got with this one?
Over here, AFC North matchup. If you look at my predictions beginning of the year, I would have had the Bengals in first place and the Steelers down on the bottom half of the division. But losing some tight games. Cincinnati's lost their share of them, their gentleman's share of tight games. And the Steelers have, played some good ball with their, quarterback starting the first 4 games and their other quarterback starting the next several games. But I think Russell Wilson should be their starting quarterback. I haven't seen nothing to make them think they need to go back. Bengals just do. Bengals just do. Their level of play is not matching their record 100%. So I'll take the Bengals and I'll take the under. I'll take the under. Bengals and the under.
I get exactly everything you're saying, Jack. But first and foremost, I appreciate you not using the term moonball because I'm so tired of that. And I don't even know why that's even a thing, but it is. It's the world we live in. Speaking of this game, I think Pittsburgh and making the move, it's shown to be the right move because they're winning. And I think they give themselves more options in this offense with Russell Wilson at the helm. I think the Bengals it's something missing. And I think we're at a point now where guys are starting to want to start getting their plans ready for the offseason. We get into Cancun season. So I think if Pittsburgh gets out early, I think they should be able to walk away from this a little bit. I think it's going to over only because Burrow and Jamar Chase are on like this crazy heater. So I say all that to say that I think I'm going to go with you, Jack. I think I'm going to take the Bengals in the over.
Oh, boy. You brothers just not making it easy for me today. I'll say this. Russell Wilson throws a perfect moonball.
Okay, here we go.
But no, the way this Steelers team is playing, you gotta give me the Steelers in this one. I'm not taking anything away from the Bengals. The Bengals, it's like the Bengals they can put up 45, 50 points, but it's like they can't stop anybody because the team next to them going to put up 52.
No, you're right.
I'm not going to say it's a defensive issue, but it's a defensive issue. Give me the Steelers in this one. And I'm going to take the over. Give me the Steelers 35-21. Nope. That's not even the over. 35-24. Steelers.
You said 35-21?
24.
Okay. I hope you didn't change it because you thought you didn't hit the over. You in this Bladensburg math.
I did. I was right at it. And I was there. No.
The over under is 46, dog.
That's that Bladensburg math, buddy.
You up in the 50s.
Yeah.
You struggling here, partner.
Hey, look.
Don't do that again. Don't try to do math again.
Go on, do math. Next up. Hold on. Matty Ice said Steelers with a big win, but under.
Okay, man.
I like that. Next up, Eagles versus Ravens. Ravens are 3-point favorites. Over under is 50.5. Gentleman Jack, take it away.
This could be the best game of the weekend, right? Philly 9-2, Baltimore 8-4. Both of them got huge free agent pickups at the running back spot with Henry and Barkley. Both of them got about 1,300 yards rushing each. Man. But I do think the quarterbacks throwing the ball is going to have a factor in this game as well. It's not going to all be the running backs. I just think Philly is fine-tuning their machine. And Philly, man, what's over under 50? Philly's going to beat Baltimore. And it's going to be let's go over on this one. I've been over. So Philadelphia should be able to contain Baltimore and pull this out. And it's going to be a shootout, a slugfest shootout. When is this game? Is it in the 1 o'clock slot? or is it Sunday night game?
I believe this is 425.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Philly's going to get Baltimore today, and I'll take the over. You got it, Midnight Rider?
Yeah, I think you said everything that I wanted to say, but the only other difference I think is that I think Devontae Smith isn't going to play today. So I think the Ravens win this. And when I talk about we sneak past the over, I think it's like a 27-24 type of ball game where we just get the over, depending on the book you have. I see up here we got 50.5. Because all lines on the Sideline Junkies Network is brought to you by FanDuel, the unofficial, official place for lines brought to us by FanDuel. But yeah, I got the over barely, 27-24.
I'm looking at this, and Jack said something that made me go look. And I said, geez. Saquon Barkley leads the league in rushing. 1392. 10 touchdowns. Right behind him is Derrick Henry with 1325 and 13 touchdowns. The next person closest to them in third is Josh Jacobs at 987. We're not in the era anymore of get to 1,000 yards and this is a successful season. I don't know. With the way these two running backs are running, these dudes might sniff 2,000 yards this year. And what's crazy, the Giants wrote off Saquon Barkley, the Titans wrote off Derrick Henry, and neither one of them wrote back. They said they were done. They said they were finished, they were washed, and these cats have been lighting the league up. Let's get it. Give me the Ravens beating the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles can. I don't think they got enough to beat the Ravens. I think the Ravens win this. It's going to be a defensive battle. I'm going to take the under. Justin Tucker redeems himself. He bangs through a 59-yard field goal as time expires to win 19-16.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Pew pew.
I didn't say nothing about a shootout, but okay. Matty Ice said will be a fun one. Ravens in a close one and under because it's going to be it's going to be damn cold there. Yeah. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're home.
Yeah. It's in Baltimore.
Yeah. Cold. I think it's 29 degrees right now in the area. So up in Baltimore, coming off that harbor, it's going to be a little bit more bite. So.
And yes, the game is the 425 ball game.
Oh, and the sun gonna be going down. Ooh, that's football weather, baby. I don't know. I gotta ask permission. Ask my wife, can I go out? Can I put my thermals on, get my ankles taped, and go out and play? She ain't paying me no mind right now. Love you. she not paying me no mind on purpose. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Let's move on to Orchard Park where it's some real football weather. It's snowing. They're looking for people to come out and shovel snow out of the stadium. The Niners are visiting. Bills are 6.5-point favorites. 44.5 is the over-under. Gentleman Jack, take it away.
44.5, huh? As I told you earlier, I did not check my injury updates today. Fellas, what's Purdy doing today? He's sitting or playing?
They haven't really announced it yet. We're not going to find out anything about him until this is the 8:20 game, I think. So
okay,
we're not going to find anything about him until 7-something.
I don't think it matters, though, to tell you the truth. Baltimore's clicking. Their defense is on top of stuff. San Fran's got injuries all over the place. I mean, defense got injuries, offense got injuries, special teams got injuries. Hell, I think coaching staffs got injuries. But I look for Buffalo to win a tight one here, and I think it's going to be an under today. I look at maybe 20-14. So Buffalo's defense is going to hold up, and the Bills will defeat San Francisco 49ers. So I take the Bills and the under. Isn't that right?
Buffalo. I mean, this is the Chris Berman game. They should give out like a Swami hat or something. Not a Shanae, a Swami hat. For this ball game. I think somebody said for 10 years, this is the Super Bowl that Chris Berman always picked. I was shocked to hear that it was 10 years in a row, but hey, here we are. And for 7 of those years, one of the 2 teams were in the Super Bowl, which is another crazy stat. To this game in particular, I just think San Fran is too beat up. And I think tonight it's going to be nice and cold. And I think Buffalo gets the ball to the kids, and they get their running game going. They run the kid Davis from Kentucky. They run Cook, and I think that's how they find success in this ball game. So I'm sorry, I didn't make my pick. It's Buffalo. We're gonna get the under because I think this is gonna be one of those games where it's gonna be so cold. It's gonna be a KG special almost. I think it's gonna be like 20-13.
Pew, pew, pew.
Here we go.
I gotta say this. This right here is the game that you look for. And as a kid, this is the games I always look for. Were those games in Buffalo at, this was Rich Stadium. This is when they still had the AstroTurf. They didn't have natural grass or the plastic grass. They had AstroTurf. They had carpet. And, it's hard to fall on that when that stuff frozen. And I watched Buffalo in the 90s dominate these games. I watched Thurman Thomas and Kenneth Davis run over teams. I watched Jim Kelly throw to Andre Reed, James Lofton, Pete Metzelaars, and Don Beebe. And of course, you watch that defense run wild. I think you see old Buffalo. I'm talking 90s Buffalo, dominant Buffalo. And they win this one running away 38-10. So give me the over, give me the Bills.
Dang.
I think and Bills defense really steps up this game. Bills defense, Blue Magic guarantee.
Huh?
Bills defense gets a touchdown.
No. What did you say before that?
I
He
said
said Blue Magic.
Magic guarantee.
We should have like a sounder.
I don't even know if I got something for that.
No, I'm just saying we should just be able to just be like Blue Magic guarantee.
I would like that.
Scores TD. I don't know, man. I ain't throwing these Blue Magics out.
And Matt Milano is back today for the Bills.
Well, I know BJ's happy about that. My wife said don't encourage the shenanigans. But it is a Blue Magic guarantee. It's a brand. I stand by it.
All right. We're gonna start keeping stats on these Blue Magics now.
Hey, I'm over. I think I'm 1-2 right now this season, so that's cool. Matty Ice said night game temps in the teens. Buffalo not close, but under. I'll give you that. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of passing. I think it's gonna be a lot of running. And Josh Allen won't get free, but they're gonna run the score, and that defense gonna help.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, another cold weather game. The Titans visit Northwest Stadium, face the Commanders. Commanders are 6.5-point favorites. Over under is 44.5. Gentleman Jack, take it away.
Hold on, Jack. Before you go, do you want to do your thing now so that we can get that out the way, or you want us to wait?
It's on the Gentleman Jack.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. No. I wanted to see if KG was going to do the thing. You know his Sunday morning thing.
Yeah, crybaby thing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jack. You can start.
Nah, we're gonna make him wait on that because everybody know what he gonna do.
Right.
Nah, it's Washington 7-5, done dropped 3 straight.
Yep.
Tennessee 3-8. I don't know what they dropped. They just dropped. Levis, and I don't think he's going to get nothing going today. You got to make sure he doesn't find Riley downfield. So Washington defensive backfield, you've seen what happened to your boy. If you don't want to be gone, you better step up and play ball today. Defensive backfield for Washington. Tennessee, I don't see us letting Tony Pollard get anything done, but you got to tighten up. Washington, on the other hand, I do expect to see a big game out of Louisville, and I expect to see that young boy Newton come out and give us some ball today because, he's got a lot on his plate from the previous games. Jaden Daniels needs to make smart decisions. I think he needs to get Zach Ertz more into the offense today. Tight end slants. Ertz is able to run with it. Eckler, you're going to have to run with the rock today. He's going to run hard. He's going to be getting receptions. I think Eckler's going to get a touchdown today.
Before you do that, Jack, Eckler's actually out. I think they put him late last night.
Did they scratch him late?
They put him on IR.
And B-Rob's out too, right?
B-Rob they haven't said anything. He's active. So
I know
he's playing.
He came back last week and got a little hurt in the first half.
Right.
I wasn't sure if that little hurt turned into big hurt. And like I say, I apologize to our viewers. I did not have a chance to check out an injury report today. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on the injury report. So let's see if B-Rob and what's third string? Rodriguez? Or he got let go?
You got Rodriguez because he came back like Tuesday, the first day they could sign him back. And then you also got Jeremy McNichols. He's going to be in the backfield. I think he probably ends up with the lion's share of the carries.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, you're right. But Washington needs this win. They really need this win right now. 7-6 would not be a good look. And I feel Tennessee's the team that they needed to have on the schedule this time. So I look for Washington to win, and I think they're going to win easily. I don't think they're going to reach that over because I don't think Tennessee's going to score enough. See, Mr. Levis throw a couple interceptions would be nice. So Washington in the unders where I'm going to go with this one, Midnight Rider.
Well, Jack, I'm glad you turned it over to me. There's a crazy stat from the Tennessee Detroit game where Detroit scores 52 points, all right? And 4 or 5 of those drives started in the Tennessee red zone. Like basically they only had 20 yards to go to get a touchdown on like 5 of these possessions because they gave up a punt return. They had a turnover. They had a fumble. They had another punt return. Like the way for Washington to win this ball game would be through special teams and their defense. And I would love to see them get Ben Sinnott into the ball game a little bit more, letting him catch some of those slants, some of them over routes, and letting him bulldoze some people and create an offense that way. The only problem is Tennessee's front line. If you look at them, they're like 5th in defense. Their problem is they're giving up yards because they're dealing with short fields. They're getting the quick turnovers. Teams aren't really driving the ball on them. And if you watch Mr. Sweat today, the big fella in the middle, I think he's 6'4", 375. He's one of their D tackles. The other guy is Jeffrey Simmons, a kid that if he didn't break his leg in senior year, he would have been in the top 10. I think the place to beat them is on the outside. Their corners, they don't have Sneed, the kid they picked up from KC. So we need them to make mistakes. We need them to give us the ball game. I hope they get an early start. So, again, I talk about Cancun, and this is where we're getting into. We're getting into Cancun time, where some of these teams that aren't as good, if you get up on them early, you take away their fight. And I think that's what hurt them last week against the Cowboys. I think if they had scored 13 points early in the Cowboys, they'd have laid down and wouldn't have worried about it. But this week, I'm gonna take the Commanders to win. I think I'm gonna go with Jack. I think this will be under, but it's only gonna be under because I think we're doing all the heavy lifting. I think Sinat gets a touchdown. That's what I'm looking for. So give me 23-10.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you say that because normally I would have a whole spiel right here on how the Titans are so good. I'm not even doing that because that magic is worn off. 3 straight losses.
Cool.
3 straight losses. And 3 straight losses to teams that we should have beaten.
Mm-hmm.
This team should be 10-2 right now. At worst, 9-4. I'm sorry, 9-3. At worst. At worst. We've been shooting ourselves in the foot. And that Dallas game was indicative of how bad we shot ourselves in the foot. I'm not. What I did early in the season, yeah, it worked for 7 wins. So I can't do it anymore. If we're getting ready to go into a bye week, we need to go into a bye week on a high note. And this game right here has to be a team effort. This is all hands on deck. Everybody has to perform. We don't need when we get down the red zone, we don't need no holding penalties. We don't need no illegal shift, illegal man down. We don't need none of that. We don't need the penalties got to decrease. The points got to increase. Washington has to win this game, and Washington has to win this game handily. This is a 3-8 team. This is a team you're supposed to beat. In the fourth quarter, we should not be passing the ball trying to figure out how we're going to win this game. This game should be won by the middle to the end of the third quarter. So give me the Commanders. 28. The Titans 14. That's what I'll say. Matty, must win for Washington. Gut check time. It's win, but Tennessee covers. Over. If it's that close, Matty Ice, man, I'm upset. If this game is anywhere close, if this game is within a touchdown, I don't care if it's a garbage touchdown. If it's within a touchdown, we got a problem. Am I ready to panic button? No. But we got a problem if it's within the touchdown. Before we go on to our last segment, let me ask you fellas a question. Speaking of penalties, the Friday game, the Raiders versus the Chiefs, did you guys think that was controversial the way that game ended?
Controversial, no, but I think I can see where people get the image or the idea that like they could have changed the call or whatever, because I think they called illegal shift and not a false start. So which means the play happened and all that good stuff. I understand all of that. I don't know. I mean, it's just I still don't understand why. To be honest with you, I don't even know why they snapped the ball there like that. It should have been under center, and maybe you either run and get up and then kick the field goal, or I think I'd have kicked it there. I mean, I just don't see the reason for taking that snap. But if you have the timeout, why not line up in a run formation, get under center, ensure that you get the football to the QB, and run the play, quick, take the timeout, and then get your field goal team on. That's just what I thought they were going to do. And when they were in shotgun, it just kind of threw me off.
It was poor clock management by Vegas. Period. End of discussion. Poor clock management.
Oh, really? In the discussion? Oh, okay.
In the discussion. I mean, there was 45 seconds left. They got 2 plays off. That's it. They burned too much time at the end.
I'll say this. I think number one, poor time management was the theme for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago playing Detroit, you're on the 25 and all you need is 3 points and you still didn't come up with 3 points with 1:16. Come on now.
That's the one. My fault. I'm sorry. Chicago's the one that had 45 seconds and ran 2 plays. Made me no sense. Maybe it wasn't the Vegas game. Vegas game was the bad snap. That's right. Chicago, poor clock management. They've seen a lot of it this weekend or this past 3 days.
But how do you call an illegal shift when nobody shifted? False start, yes, but nobody shifted on the play. I watched that play from 7 different angles. Nobody shifted. Was it a false start? Yes. And a lot of people are saying, hey, this is what we've been talking about. They keep saving the Chiefs when there's these close games, these 1-score games. They keep saving the Chiefs with these calls. And I'm really starting to believe it. You know me, I play around about it. But when you start looking at the evidence, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. There are known unknowns and unknown unknowns. This is the known unknown. We know unknowingly they're saving the Chiefs. We know it. We see it. They're trying to keep them perfect. They're trying to give them we can't let them, go down in this type fashion. If anybody that doesn't believe that, go look at the tape.
And go look. The NFL blocked that field goal a couple weeks ago, too.
Yeah.
Okay, boys.
Y'all don't have to believe me. Do the math, man. Do the math.
It looks that way, but it's just football. It's just happening in the Chiefs game, man. I don't feel they're getting nothing.
Right. All right, gentlemen, what you eating?
I think we're doing chops today. Today we're baking them. Yesterday we did pan-seared chops and burgers. Today I think we're just doing some baked chops. I don't know what the night meal is gonna be. I might just go grab some burgers from the store.
I think tonight we having pasta, but for lunch and for the games, we're having burritos from this authentic Mexican place right down the street from us here in South Carolina. So I look forward to that. Friday night, we was eating up in the VIP suite. Saturday, we was eating up in the VIP suite. And whoever that fool is telling me that you order a pizza and some chicken tenders in the VIP suite and it costs you $600 is selling wolf tickets. I ain't never been in the VIP suite where you pay for your food.
I've never been there.
I've seen the press box before where the people that own the suite, if they don't do the food beforehand, then the prices gets ridiculous to order through the services. I've seen that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I want to, whenever I go to a game, I gotta go with Jack because Jack always ends up in VIP.
Hey, even if I got tickets in the 400 section, I'm gonna be in the VIP sooner or later.
Yeah.
I don't do 400s. I don't do section 400. Nope.
See, Jack, we wouldn't be able to go to the game together because that's where I'm always at. I'm a man of the people, man. I'm with the fans outside in the elements. It's 12 degrees outside. I'm out there with the guys that's wrapped up, and you can't tell what they look like. All you see is eyes and hear voices. That's where I'm at.
I went out and sat outside the VIP. You can go sit outside. Got chairs down front, special chairs.
Sit outside the VIP. I can't do it. I can't do it.
First and foremost, I would like to thank the Pfeiffer, Kubu, and Dunmore families for making this weekend possible. Really would.
Right.
I'm blessed.
All right, let's take a moment to give a shout out to our guy, Matt Chapin. He's over in Spain right now. Chapin. He's over in Spain right now doing his races. The family's been updating us. I'll try to make sure whatever they update on their page, I swing it over to our page, to either In the Passenger Seat or the Sideline Junkies podcast. What else do I have? I think that's it.
On an update on Matthew, in qualifying yesterday, I believe he finished 14th and 15th respectively. They said they had to make some tweaks to the bike. He was wearing the tires out a little much. Put some new forks on this morning, or should I say last night. They put some new forks on the bike. Matt seems to like the way it's handling in the turns. He actually ran his heat races today, earlier this morning. We'll get an update to you later this afternoon.
It's definitely. As far as what I'm eating, I don't know. I probably eat some of this leftover corn pudding. This the last day my wife gonna let me eat Thanksgiving food. She say, I don't know. I've been trying to tell her. I'm like, we used to eat on that for at least a week.
Mm-hmm.
I got a ham bone in the freezer, so when it get really cold, I'm gonna make some great northern beans that I ain't gonna eat. But yeah, I don't even know what we eating today. We gonna find out something. So, final thoughts, fellas. Wrap that up.
Before we go further, who won the WrestleManiacs picks this week?
Well, we didn't do picks for this particular pay-per-view. Thank you. We didn't do picks for this particular pay-per-view because me being the champion, I chose not to defend my title because I have that right.
Oh, so you like Roman Reigns. You hold the title for 365 days, but you defend it 5 times. I got you.
I got to defend it within 30 days. So next pay-per-view, I have to defend it. But I am going to bask in the glory. You're going to burn in my light as I'm the champion right now.
You scared? Say you scared.
No, ain't no scared.
Then put it up.
Ain't no scared. Nope.
Put that title up.
Nope. Not even gonna do it.
Oh, Snooki.
And then, so the OG, if you don't know, the original Bloodline won War Games, won the pin of Reigns pinning Solo Sikoa. So that should probably be the opening, either for tomorrow night's Raw or the opening for SmackDown. Expect that. I expect, and this is non-Saturday WrestleMania information, I would love to see a CM Punk Roman Reigns feud of some type going into Mania. And that's just my call. And basically they put Paul Heyman on the line.
I like that. And let me say this before we get out of here. You did the grid.
You didn't I know you saw what I saw, KG. What you got going on over there, Jack?
I just mixed my coffee, bro.
Okay.
Oh, you saw the spoon to the mouth, huh? I didn't want it dripping on the floor, man. It was getting ready to drip. No, that's just a little coffee. Still trying to wake up. He said, I know you saw that, KG. I'd say it.
You guys did the gridiron yesterday, and I wasn't able to join. But I will say this. It feels good to be a national champion. Hellified journey, hellified games, and now I'm in the SEC where I don't want to be, but the check clears, so I'm all right with it. Yeah, I just hope I can read. That's all I can say about that.
I got BJ's thoughts on that yesterday. What's your thoughts on that? Like, is it really for? I'm guessing the commissioners of the league got together and decided that we want everybody to have to like fight the same fight to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, he was saying it will make a little bit more parity, but I told him, I said, it's kind of rough. Being honest, it's going to be kind of rough because instead of you having 4 or 5 different avenues of everybody making a playoff, now everybody's going to go down 2 avenues. Somebody's not going to make the playoff.
Right.
The Big Ten is competitive. The SEC is competitive already without Notre Dame and Colorado in it. So Colorado being the greenhorn of the group,
right?
I don't know how he's going to take to that playing those schools. And he's just coming up, or he's just on the come up. What did he win? 9 games last year? 8, 9 games?
I think he was 8-4, if I remember correctly.
in the Big 12 championship game. 8-4, he can go 8-4. He can go 9-3 in the SEC. That's not going to put you nowhere but 4th or 5th. When you're talking about the likes of Alabama, you're talking about the likes of Texas, Texas A&M. You know, you're talking about these SEC schools that are dominant. 9-3, 8-4 ain't gonna do nothing if you're not 10-1. If you're not undefeated at 11-0 at the end of the season, you get no shine. You're just another team.
Speaking of that, let's transfer back over to the real version of college football, not the college fictitious league that we operate. I think the decision comes down to Alabama and South Carolina before we get the championship games. And I think it's going to be interesting to see Tuesday what the committee picks. What you think, Jack?
What, between Alabama and South Carolina, possibly?
Those are the
sneaking in the back door.
It's going to be one of those two teams that end up getting that last spot in the last poll before we actually have championship Sunday. Because I think this weekend there's two big mashups of the rankings.
Mm-hmm. You would think Alabama would probably do it, would probably get that nod due to their reputation. South Carolina's not been known to be up in the tops these last 10, 15 years. I don't know. I think, huh?
I was going to say, they got two big wins last night, Clemson, and there's a game earlier they won.
They got the good wins, and is South Carolina also a 3-loss team, or are they less?
They're 3.
Yeah, I think Alabama would get the nod over South Carolina just on their reputation alone, in my opinion. So
the game to look out for is the Oregon-Ohio State game, because I think Oregon has the opportunity. So I think they would be Ohio State's third loss. And if that's the case, now Ohio State drops down into that mix of teams as well. So I think college football may have done something right here by making this a 12-team tournament, because who they pick for the 12 is going to be more important than anything else. And it's going to be a nice run of how we get to 12.
Well, if Ohio State upsets Oregon, then you got more problems.
Yes and no.
Agreed.
Because now Ohio State goes from, say, being 10, so now they become one of the automatics. So they end up getting a bye now. And now Oregon has to play, even though Oregon has the better record. And this is what you're talking about, where the record sometimes in the rankings chop up the whole thing, the whole bracket in certain ways. So you're going to see on the line where teams rank 5th, but they're the 8 or 9 seed in the college playoff system.
Mm-hmm. And Oregon would be the number 5 or 6 team because of their record.
Exactly.
And that makes it less iffy for the 3-loss team to make it if Oregon loses.
Exactly.
It's going to get tricky here. I'm really excited. See how it comes out. Final.
All right, Casey, we're done now.
I'm just listening, man, because Thursday we got to have an updated bracket, so we'll make sure we get that done. But until Tuesday night, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Matty Ice. In the comments, thank you, Miss V Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Boss BJ on special assignment. Thank you, Gentleman Jack. Thank you, Midnight Rider. Thank you. So until Tuesday, we don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here.